Hi boys and girls. Okay, this is a speeded up version, about 40 seconds, to show you what you need to do if you were gone last week to get caught up with the rest of us. You're going to use the printmaking technique to create a bulldog's face that has symmetry by printing one half of the face onto the other side of the paper and then tracing your ghost. Okay, now we are ready to begin painting our bulldog. You'll need your pure color, white and black for this. Okay, so before I start painting, I want to talk to you about values. You need to have at least 3 different values in your face. So you should have your pure color, then a medium value, and a much lighter value. This you can barely see my medium value because it's very close to this value, but you should have at least 3, okay? And then your background, that should be your darker value, but I would like you to have at least 2. So you can see I did my darkest value of orange mixed with black, and it made this really chocolatey brown, and then I made a lighter brown for the background because orange mixed with black actually makes brown. Here's another one. Much more extreme. This one, the values are very, they're not blended very well. So I would say this should not jump just to this. So that's an example kind of what not to do. Too much. Now this one, I wanted him to have shadows and highlights here, but did I jump from too big of a value change here? Probably. Probably could have been a little smoother. I probably could have smoothed these 2 out just a little bit too, like in between them. Okay? If I'm getting picky here. Right here, and this one I think I did really well on. You can see that the values are changing just gradually. I can see where it's lighter here, lighter there. There's like the regular purple and a little bit medium purple and a light purple. So, and then the darker purple in the back and the very darkest purple here. Okay? All right, so we're ready. I'm going to start with my pure color, and I'm going to paint my entire bulldog my pure color. And if you go over some of your lines, that's okay, but remember, you're going to have to paint all of those back in, so maybe don't cover over them if you can help it. Like this one, I'm not worried about because I'm not even sure I want to keep that one. I wasn't sure I liked those when I did them, so I'm going to paint over them, and maybe they'll show through and maybe they won't. Okay, now I'm ready to start mixing. So I'm going to put some of my red, I think I'll just use right here, put some of my red and some of my white and mix them together. I want to get a medium value. Might need a little more red there. And then I'm going to mix some, I'm just going to use the red that's on my brush, and I'm going to mix it in with white to make a lighter value. Okay, and that's pretty good. Then I can make an even lighter value if I want to just paint straight with white. That'll actually bring it down even more. But I'm going to start with this one right here. I'm going to go back into this one and stir it up since I've got the other color on my brush. There we go. And I'm just going to go in here and pick some areas where I think it would be a little bit lighter. So I'm going to put this lighter version of red, which is actually kind of a pinkish color. Can you guys see where I'm putting it? It's pretty close to the red, isn't it? It's not very different, and that's okay. One of your values should be kind of close to your main color, but don't cover up all your main color, okay? You should have some red still in there. If that happens, you can always go back to the red and put it back in. All right, now I'm ready for my lighter color. I'm going to put a little bit of this in here. And it's not looking much lighter to me, so I'm going to actually dip in the white and make it even lighter. So if you go to paint on your paper and you can't tell, then you're going to have to add more white. Now I can really see it. That's almost too much, isn't it? You're going to have to make that call. If you get it too light, there's a way to fix that. I'm going to show you that. I'm going to make some of mine a little bit too light, and then I'll show you how to fix that. Okay. All right, I'm looking at this and I'm like, wow, this is way lighter than I want right here. I'm just going to go back into my red And I'm just going to paint right over it with the red. I don't want that to be as light right in there. Okay, and I'm also noticing this right here, so I'm going to take my red, go right in there with my red. So you do want some areas, though. You should be able to see some highlighted areas. So this, I want this to be the darkest area right there underneath, because that's where there would be no light shining on that, right? And this should be the darkest area here and here. So I'm just going to go back in with a little bit of red. Okay, now if I wanted this to, I want this to be my lightest area, but I feel like I need to paint it better, so I'm going to try to wipe off my brush here a little bit. Get a little bit of that paint off, so I can smooth this around. If I smooth it around with that red paint on there, what's going to happen? I'm going to lose all my color. I'm just going to take pure white and put a little bit of pure white in here, because I really want to make sure this is lightened up a little bit there. The top of his snout would be really light. The top of his head would probably be the lightest area right up here. The top of his ears would probably be pretty light. And I'm doing a little bit of mixing right here on the paper. I'm taking my white and I'm mixing it right in, and I'm going back and forth, because I don't want it to be pure white. I want it to be mixed in a little bit with the red or the pink that I'm putting it on. Okay, there, I'm feeling like that. Maybe I need a little bit on his jowls here. That looks like how I want it to look. This might be catching some light here, right above his, oh no, I'm going to put a little bit here and see what that looks like. Yeah, I kind of like that. Now, as it's drying, you can kind of smooth these edges. I like to smooth the edges a little bit. That's totally painter's preference, how you think it looks good. I'm ready to start doing the background. So I'm going to mix a little bit of my black with my red, okay? And I want just a little bit for this. Okay, for final touches, you want a really tiny paintbrush, and you're just going to take that and go over all of your black lines. Make sure that we can see them, okay? Okay, when you are completely done, wash out your brushes, wash out your paint palette. If it's cleanup time, you're going to put your brushes in the sink, and we will let them soak. You're going to put the lid on your paint palette. Do not wash your paint palette if it's cleanup time.